into this, and let's introduce our players in this TVZ best of 3. To the top left hand side from Invasion Esports, we're going to be kicking things off with our blue Terran player. Let's hear it if you're cheering on MajOr. And down to the bottom right is going to be Red Zerg from Sidestorm Gaming. It is true. What tournament was Wardy just talking about? Heard about MajOr and SOS? The Leifeng Cup. MajOr and SOS played in a previous one. If you check out the YouTube channel, the VODs are up over there. And this coming up one, we've got players like Dark, Classic, Bjorn, Myungsik, etc. They're all set to play in the qualifier on Monday. And then it'll play out on Tuesday, Wednesday, and the next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Leifeng Cup every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, basically. It's a pretty fantastic cup. $2,200 every 2 weeks. What happened to SZT Improve? Can't open. SZT Improve has shut down. It's going to be coming up again in the near future. Not in the immediately near future, but it won't be back on SZT Improve because SZT Improve shut down. But there's going to be a new website coming up shortly. Just trying to confirm something here in the early stages of the game. I should probably put my headphones back on now to start casting, shouldn't I? It helps me focus, actually. It's surprising how much having headphones on can help you focus on casting. I guess it just takes you away from the outside world a bit. Alright guys, so yeah, I just wanted to confirm that I could tell people, but on Saturday I'm not going to be casting on this channel because I'm going to be casting Ladder Heroes Europe with Fear Dragon. That will of course be over on Fear Dragon's channel. That's on Saturday, 17th of September. I believe it starts at 7 PM CEST. It's pretty close to the end of Shoutcraft Kings, so make sure you check in over there for that. That's Ladder Heroes Europe coming in after Shoutcraft Kings on Saturday, and I'm going to be casting over on Fear Dragon's channel. So if you guys have been wondering what on earth I've been talking about not casting on my channel on this Saturday for the past, I don't even know how long it's been, but I've been talking about it for a while. But just to confirm now, I will be casting that Ladder Heroes event, which is exciting. Cool to be a part of it. So looking forward to it. Hopefully we have some good games. Let's see a Reaper coming in. Just going to be harassing a little bit here. Some drones start to take some damage. Zergling's going to be running in as well. The early build orders here, very standard, just expansion-based play. And True going to continue to mine gas. I mean, True is the sort of player who will invest into pneumatized carapace every game. Not just to scout, but because also he loves to play with drops later on. Whether it's Balin drops into mineral lines, whether it's Queen drops. You know, he loves that sort of stuff. So that's what we usually see out of True, so no surprise to see him starting that pneumatized carapace, and for the Zerglin speed to already be just over halfway done. Reaper just going to be patrolling. Just going to be patrolling kind of at the front there. And the Reaper just going to be kind of, again, moving forwards, moving backwards a bit. Hellion going to be popping out the front, and another, factory going to land on the reactor again. And a couple more Hellions going to be coming out again very, very soon. So a couple more Hellions on the way up, and again, pneumatized carapace going to finish, Zerglin speed going to finish. I'm just going to be setting up into this as a few Zerglins work their way through those rocks. I mean, this Hellion kind of production is going to suggest that an armory will come down here as MajOr hits another 100 gas, and that will be what we're seeing, almost certain. I mean, to not see an armory at this point would be very strange, I think. I think even True will recognize this as he sees the setup. Reacted factory, no barracks, tech lab or anything, nothing on the starport. If this is an armory, I will, but I'm not going to say eat my hat because there's enough people who owe kind of videos of them eating items of clothing already. I'm just going to be seeing a few Marines just going to get loaded up, and Hellions will join together on the natural expansion. Alright, so Medevac can be coming down towards the bottom right side. Going to be having a look to see what's up and what's going on. Liberator is on the way out as well as a follow-up. Actually, no armory at all, so good thing I didn't say I'd eat my hat, right? Because it's not an armory. I find that interesting. Because it almost feels as though he may as well have introduced the army because he has the money to do it. It's not like he's low on gas or anything. And I would just made this initial attack a little bit more powerful. Two drones going down, then he sort of has to back away. So not really much gained at all by MajOr here early on. Goes into third CC. I wonder if he's okay. He swaps the factory to a tech lab, so we're not going to see Sky Terran out of him. We're going to say it's a possibility, sort of, if he continues to make Hellions and goes into double gas on the natural very quickly. Not going to be the case though. Something's going to counterattack. Actually, a lot of the Hellions coming out of position on the map. As MajOr going to have to try and find a way to fight against this. Not going to be easy, as we're going to see the Marines actually going to load up, drop into a little bit of a choke point here. But these Zerglins are making their way through, and they're actually starting to do a lot of damage. SCVs are falling. And more SCVs starting to go down right now. A couple of Marines going to keep on fighting as well. As you see this depot looking as though it might go down soon. Here's the rest of the Hellions coming back. Only 5 workers lost so far, but both of these Hellions will go down, or all 4 of those Hellions will go down. Liberator across the map doing some damage, actually making up for the workers lost by MajOr. MajOr still maintaining the worker lead. He does finish the wall off to kind of minimize the damage that these Zerglings can do now. So, just going to be seeing the Zerglings just sat over to the right-hand side a little bit. I'm just going to be seeing the tank just dropping towards the, well, just dropping just behind the wall here. So, tank dropping just behind the wall, and I see the Liberator starting to come on up. Another Liberator just looking to continue harassing, it seems. This Liberator in the main base having some success right now. Hasn't actually killed off any more workers. Gets a Queen very low, though. Queen will just about get into position here. Liberator forced away. MajOr harassing nicely. I like it. It's a good job so far. And just keeping himself, keeping himself competitive in this game right now. As an Overlord will come in, and True just going to scout around, keep an eye on what's happening at this point. A couple more racks being added on. There's the double engineering bay. MajOr will be trailing slightly in the upgrades here in the early stages. Setting up these couple of engineering bays. We're going to see the factory moves away from the tech lab to reactor, and probably a good choice because generally Ling Bane playstyles are not super good to play against when you have tanks, because tanks are immobile. It's just much more fun and easy and kind of fluent to play with the Widowmine, so we're going to be moving into that in the next few moments. We're going to be seeing the tanks dropping down here. Liberator is going to be keeping on firing as well. These Queens taking quite a beating, but going to stick around long enough to kill the Liberator, and well, a couple of tanks still over here, and just going to keep on fighting a little bit longer. Now we'll see the lift up. Oh, he's going to lose a tank evac, though. That's a nice little target down from True. And the Queen's just catching him out of position there. Ling's going to stick around too, just to keep this tank pushed back and stop it from picking off the 4th base, or too much health on the 4th base. Still this medevac just moving around, going to drop down to the top side and still firing down onto this hatchery. Zergling's going to be coming up the right-hand side, coming through the center as well. Everything getting set up to go right now. Marines from MajOr. Well, they're actually very out in the open with not much to protect them as these Zerglings start to swarm on in. This looks to initially be a very good fight. MajOr doesn't have stim yet. He's actually just going to type out GG as he loses so much here. Perfect. The dog's actually in bed. I didn't realize they were in bed. That makes a lot of sense, though. Alrighty, well, that's good. Alright, so sorry, guys. Just had to go double check. I just didn't want the dogs to be barking. It's obviously late night here, and I didn't want to be, like, ignoring the dogs barking or something. And disrupting everyone else who's, like, sleeping. So, let's go into this. We have, to the top right-hand side, our blue Terran player is going to be down a game. It is from Invasion Esports, MajOr. And to the bottom left, a red Zerg from Psystorm Gaming. Let's hear it if you're cheering on the one and only true WCS champion, looking to try and qualify for KeSPA Cup. In a way, I think it'd be really cool to see some of the N8 players playing in the KeSPA Cup, rather than players such as like True, etc., like the Koreans. It'd be sort of interesting to see kind of how these sort of players kind of fare against the kind of the KeSPA Koreans, but I think it'd be really cool to get to see Neeb and so on, and Scarlet, for example, going up against them. Anyways, setting up into this, we'll see what MajOr wants to do here. I wonder what server we're actually hosted on. Central? Alright, so everything's fair right now. True's actually in Korea, by the way. True in Korea, Violet in Korea as well at the moment. Maybe just getting some practice in before BlizzCon. I'm not sure why exactly. They are, I think they're just practicing there before BlizzCon a little bit. Just a little bit of everything, I guess. Anyways, just going to be seeing this SCV moving down to the bottom left-hand side of the map from MajOr. Just moving down to that bottom left side and having a little bit of a look to see what's going on. Guys, talking about Canada. I really want to go to Canada. I think next time there's an event in Toronto, I'm going to go, because Toronto seems like a really cool place to visit. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's actually sort of what you're discussing. Sorry, I can't really read it all because I've been away and haven't been keeping up with the conversation. But next time there's an event in Toronto, I think I'm going to go because it seems really cool. Of course, no my luck, it'll happen at a time where I can't actually go or something, so that would suck. But I think it'd be pretty awesome. I really do. Anyways, setting up into this, guys. We see once again fairly standard openings. MajOr will once again opt for the factory early. So we'll see what he's going to go into this time around. He is on the double gas, so going to be a starport. Going to be some sort of continued pressure here in the early stages of the game with the factory racks and starport opening. What do we see coming down off of this barracks, I guess? Tech lab this time, so that's a bit different. We could see something like a Hellion Banshee opening. And that could definitely lead MajOr into a Sky Terran playstyle, which is something he's very comfortable with. We see him play a lot of times in a whole bunch of different tournaments. DreamHack Valencia, pretty much everything MajOr's played in. He really likes the Sky Terran playstyle, so. It's going to be seen as Reaper just sat out the front. An Overlord to the right hand side, an Overlord to the upper right as well. Neobatized Karas and Zergling Speed going to be finishing up very, very shortly. So there's a couple of upgrades going to be completing here. And then a few more Hellions just popping out. How many we got? 4 Hellions. Looks like the barracks going to go straight down on that reactor though. And there it is, Cloak Banshee on the way. But True again, always coming in with the Neobatized Carapace Overlord, always scouting. And again, I feel he invests into this so often because he says, well, you know what, I'm going to use it later anyways. So just invest now and get that scouting information as well. And it's a double victory for me. Helps me to play safe and stay alive. So we see a less starting to morph infantry pretty early on. This spot by the Reaper. So this is pretty interesting. I wonder if he's going to say try and drop in Nidus or something to kind of counter into the Hellion Banshee. I like this though. MajOr actually going to cancel the cloak after being scouted. Just says, well, a single cloakless Banshee will probably do just about as much right now. Siege tank on the way out from me as well. So very safe opening out of MajOr. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him drop a third CC down behind this very soon. If that wasn't it just going down there and taking up his minerals. It is going to be placed in. Just makes sense. I mean, when you open it with tanks, etc. like this, there's very little you can do aggressively. Much better just drop the third base down and just play defensive. You can sort of tank it back around, but we'll see what happens anyways. Third CC coming down this time. A lot of you guys seem to be pretty hyped on Toronto. If I come to Toronto, will you guys show me a good time? Will you guys show me what's good? Come to Toronto, get my autograph. I really do want to come to Toronto. If I come to Toronto, you guys better show me how you party in Canada, right? Because trust me, I may not seem it sitting in my room talking about StarCraft all day, but when there's a party on, I am there. You can trust me. You can ask anyone who goes to Home Story Cup because they will have seen it the last couple of times. Anyways, we're just going to be seeing the double Evo chamber coming down. True's going to opt for the fairly early Spire. It's interesting, this build sort of fell out of fashion a lot. It's sort of like a, I like to call it like the free base Spire because we obviously had like the 2 base Spire builds, the 2 base meter builds. This is like 3 base meter where you kind of go into meters really quickly, but off of 3 bases instead of 2 bases, so it's like a minute or so later. But you get a third hatchery up with it, so it's a little bit more economically friendly. But still, the Spire finishes like 6-minute marker, so you have meters across the map by 7 minutes. So it is still early middle-ist here as this first Banshee. Looking around, I wonder if this is just a response from True to kind of say, well, maybe you play Sky Terran. Maybe this is a way for me to shut it down early, as we see Factory building up another reactor here. Already won Barracks Research and Stim Pack. I love this. Actually reactoring out Liberators, because he knows this is going to be kind of an early Spire. He scouted it early. Or he scouted the lair, and he did scout the Spire too. Scouting this early, he's just going to say, well, you know what? I'm going to build lots of Liberators right now, and that's going to make it very difficult for you to harass with your early Mutalisks. You know, the first 7 to 10 Mutalisks can't really fight against 4 Liberators. It's just too much splash damage. So True's not going to get much done with this early, and it should theoretically put MajOr into a pretty decent position where he's kind of slowing his opponent down and stuff like that. Anyways, let's see how this is going to go. So we're going to be seeing the meters just kind of flying around right now. We're going to see a few Liberators coming to the left-hand side. And there's a Baneling Nest on the way up. So Baneling Nest starting to build up here. A couple of melee upgrades coming on in. And a Rotron comes down from True as well. So Rotron coming in from True. There's a 4th hatchery coming down as well off to the left. I'm just going to be seeing the +1/+1 melee upgrades from True coming in right now. Plus the Baneling Speed. Mutilating Bane going to be his composition here. Not really a surprise. I mean, we sort of expect this out of True. He loves to play a Ling Bane. He loves to play aggressively and all over the map, attacking here, there, and everywhere. So So, be interesting to see how it turns out as we see the Liberators, showing us why it's actually very difficult to play this style when your opponent opens with a lot of Liberators. The more Liberators going to siege up here, going to force those Zerglings back. Keep his rocks alive. The longer these rocks are alive, the less time he has to worry about, run-bys, etc. in this direction. Going to come in, going to find an Overseer kill. That's pretty nice. Oh, he doesn't get it. That's a getaway. Drop to the high ground, just finish off this Overlord instead. A few changes came down there from True as he sort of just panic spammed them just to get something out of that Overseer. And hey, they're still alive, so worthwhile. So is the Overseer as well, though. A few Lings going to come around the left and again just have a bit of a look to see what they can get up to. These Marines around the right side still just dropping around. Combat shields will be finishing shortly, but Major, I like his position. I mean, you look at this, he's on 3 bases, he's set up well in his production. His upgrades are maybe a little behind the Zerg, but not super far behind. They're like, what, like 20, 30 seconds? So his upgrades are good. He's got a good work account, he's got a good army supply, and I feel as though if he just takes the right fights here, he should be in a very good spot. Like, I feel as though he's even maybe open with an advantage because True opened kind of slow and tech heavy, with tech that got heavily countered by Major. And again, those meters get shut down early. He invested into a lot on those meters, honestly. +1 flyer attacks, 7 meters, and the Spire with the early lair as well. And he invested into all of that to do literally nothing, to literally lose 3 Mutalisks and gain nothing at all. So it's slowed True down a lot early, and that means Major is just naturally in the lead without anything else really game-changing happening up until this point. Libera is going to come over to the left-hand side. A couple of Widowmines, a group of Marines also marching over to the left here as we see Ling, Bane, Ravager, and a handful of Mutas up in the skies looking to see what they can kind of advance forwards and do as we'll see Liberators starting to siege here. We're going to see a few corrosive bars coming down. Actually going to hit quite nicely onto the Liberators, getting rid of those. So Medivac goes down in this as well. Major right now just not really with enough sort of on the ground to back this up. You can see there's a little bit of a drop in the third base at the same time though, doing a good job. Picks off a few drones there. The Queen as well will drop to the high ground now. And this one Major, along with a lot of Terran players, are so good at just continuing to jump around kind of abusive positions for the Terran. Just sort of, again, find different locations to jump in next. His Medivac does go down over here as these 2 Medivacs just trying to see what's going on. Liberator picking up some more kills. Those sieges and is going to get away from the corrosive biles before it dies. And Overlord, you can't really see it because you can't actually get far enough to the left-hand side on the screen here. But an Overlord goes down. These Marines are going to stick around. They actually kill off a Ravager. Oh no, they back away. Just going to set up the Liberator. I mean, this is really annoying me not being able to go any further left because of the map. This is why you should always leave space around the edge of your map, otherwise it will annoy the casters. Let's see the Medivac's going to drop in over here as well. Widowmine's actually in these drops. 4 Widowmine's going to start unloading and burrowing. Let's see how much damage they can get done. 1 Widowmine goes down in the front, and that gets killed off actually. You see these Widowmine shots, not too great actually. 1 Widowmine will come up into the main. Oh, that's a Marauder actually. So actually this drop didn't really do much at all for Major, but it is distracting True as he gets set up over to the left-hand side. And he actually stims towards this 4th base as he sees so much is in position in the main. So Major trying to get something done over here. Doesn't commit in though. Realizes he's just going to take a little bit too long to get in position there. And then going to back away once again. Another Overlord going to go down. Tree's been supply blocked a lot right now throughout this game. Only 4 Overlords being killed. It feels like so many more. I could have sworn True's been like supply blocked after losing an Overlord like 6-7 times. Just feels like a lot. Maybe we've just seen it like every single time, so it just feels amplified as to how much it's actually happened. Marines, Marauders, a Widowmine too. Just going to be burrowing here and continue to push down the left as Lingbane, Ravager collecting in the center. So collecting together, and again these few units from Major going to be looking to see what's going to be going on. Going to be stemming forwards right now. I'm sure we'll see a scan coming down. Just trying to do a little bit more cleanup. Roaches continue to fall as this Bioforce continues to trade against these Zerglings. These Zerglings, I mean, actually pretty good trade. Lifts up at the very end as Balins roll in, and then goes up to the high ground again. At the same time, pushing through the center. Major is doing this right, continuously attacking around the map. And the interesting thing, the reason Major's still doing this 12 minutes in the game is because we don't see True taking out of it. You know, we've seen Infestation hit down, but no Hive started. We don't see True going in towards the Ultras Cavern late game that we usually see Zerg players go for, and that's what usually stops the Terran players from continuing to attack with Bio around the map, like what we're seeing Major do right now here as the game goes on. So it's a little bit interesting. You see these couple of Widowmines. I think you want to unburrow those and actually lift them in the medevac to evacuate. Looks as though that plan didn't work out for him though. 4th base drops down. There's going to be a planetary fortress as well, which I like. Major needs to make sure he's not missing out on these few Marauders over here. I mean, 6 Marauders, that's 12 supply, a couple of medevacs too. That's actually all of a sudden right up there, like, boom, that's like, what, 16 supply? Can't do math on stream, can I? Yeah, 16 supply, so, I mean, yeah, he does find them That's important. You don't want to be missing 16 army supply every single time you're fighting. Don't know how long they've been there for. I mean, that might have just been, they've just popped out. But 3 Marauders from each racks would suggest they've been there for a while. Double dropping towards the third, and this is again what MajOr is really sort of showcasing for us here. This kind of consistent multi-pronged aggression, always with a drop somewhere around the map, just trying to catch True off guard, trying to find himself opportunities. Infestors starting to come out now. Pathogen Glands will finish a little bit late though for the majority of the Infestors, and so we're not seeing Fungal Growths available immediately. It's interesting we see so many Infestors coming out as well. It's actually going to be, what, 8 in total? Nowadays we usually kind of got used to seeing 2 or 3 Infestors with no Pathogen Glands and just let them synergize with the rest of the army. But this is going to be a real commitment to Infestors here out of True, as he goes into the Hive as well. Obviously, the more Infestors etc. that he makes, though, the less kind of gas and so on there is for other stuff. So it's very important that the Spellcaster Fungal Growths are used correctly and that they're effective, because if they're not, True will very quickly find himself losing fights because he just lacks units on the ground. MajOr's already 20 army supply ahead, so if those Fungals aren't connecting, he's going to find himself in trouble. Plus 3 Carapace and the Ultras Cavern starts up alongside Adrenal Glands. Won't let Hive Tech starting to come into play as MajOr moves 2 armies around. One army up in the high ground here, going to try and pick away at a couple of units. So nice Fungal Growth. That's actually a really nice catch. Corrosive Bowels will have to fight against this. MajOr at the same time, they're going to go up this base, or go up this ramp in towards this base. A couple of Medivacs going to drop around over here towards the natural as well. So MajOr all over the place. Nice dodge from the Fungal there. Widowmine gets another Infest and another one going to get caught by the Marauders. Stays alive. He targets it again, maybe? Oh, no, not quite, but he does pick off the third hatchery. Drone's going down as well. These 2 Medivacs in the back also getting some damage done, just distracting all over the place right now. MajOr's going to pull away. Now, be careful, his Liberators a little bit out of position here, not positioned in the right direction to deal with those Ravagers, and this army coming down this ramp specifically. 2 more Medivacs to his left-hand side, and guess what? This is what MajOr's doing so well in this game. He's just pulling True from one side to the other. Big Widowmine connection into the center of those units there. I'm not sure how much actually went down, but even the splash damage can really start to add up. 10 workers killed recently, as we see MajOr with a drop on this gold base as well. He's going to kill that. You can see True's just starting to fall apart now. He can't keep up. He's not cancelling expansions, and MajOr is really just all over the shop, trying to just clean True up and just distract him. Gold base comes up for MajOr as well. And now that we see the Ultras starting to come into play, MajOr's very well prepared. Multiple starports up, ready to produce a lot of Liberators, and Fusion Core finishing to go into Advanced Ballistics as well. I'm not sure why exactly there was a turret down here on this side of the map, but there was, and MajOr, 113 army supplied to 78, 66 workers supplied to 46. Things looking very, very, very good for him right now, as we're going to see Infestors, Lings, and Ravagers all joining up together right now to the left-hand side, or to the upper left-hand side. A few Liberators just going to be joining up, and Bio Forces, Widow Mines, still just moving around the center. This drop over here still being a bit of a nuisance. So many Infestors, you've got to be so cautious of all of those Fungal Growths. But look at this, Liberators are going to zone True away from this gold base. That means that gold base, he just cancels it straight away. He knows he's not going to save that. The sooner he cancels it, the better. As we actually see 9-10 workers going down just from transferring over here. Nice catch on the Fungal Growth, and he does hit down one of the Medivacs. The other one survives, though, up on the high ground. And he'll pull that back in, and actually it's just acted as, again, a distraction to move into position down here. And here we go, Liberator set up. Look how many Infestors are going down. Infestor after Infestor being shot away at by the Liberator. There's only one Liberator now left, but still picking away at Ravagers. Look how confident MajOr is. He sees there's no Fungal Growth remaining, so he stims on in. Ravagers drop down, and guys, I think for the first time today, we're going to see a series go into a third game, because True has no option other than type out GG and MajOr. For now, we're going to go in game. We're going to introduce ourselves, some players, for game 3 of this series. Let's see who goes up against Violet. To the bottom right hand side, representing Invasion Esports, our Blue Terran player, and is going to be MajOr. And he is playing against the Red Zerg through to the top left hand side from Storm Gaming. It's True. Alright, I need another drink, guys. Probably not a good idea to bring 2 energy drinks in one night, but I can't be bothered to go downstairs and wake the dogs up to get water, so what's everyone's favorite energy drink? Is everyone a fan of Red Bull? Or do you guys prefer Monster? I actually really like Relentless. I don't know if Relentless is really a thing outside of the UK, but I've always drunk Relentless. I kind of like I like Red Bull. Red Bull's nice. I don't drink much Monster, but Relentless has always been my drink. It makes me really sad that Relentless are like an energy drink that won't get into esports. Maybe I should write to them. Maybe I should be like, hey guys, you should get into esports. I have a stream. You can sponsor this event. It's called the Team League Season 7. That'd be pretty neat. Although it'd be pretty bad for me if they just start to send me a bunch of energy drinks to drink all the time. That'd be a horrible way to go. That'd be awful. We've seen this SCV coming into scout. Early openings are actually is that a pretty fast factory, or am I just imagining things? I think it's just me imagining things. It's just a reactor off of a gas first Reaper expands. So reactor factory coming in. I'm going to be seeing this Reaper going across towards the upper left too. Well, just instigate. I will initiate the initial Reaper Zergling dance that we see so often. I like True, but I want Major to win. I want to see Violet versus Major. I think so too. It'd be nice to cast a best of 5 TVZ rather than a ZvZ. I mean, we haven't seen any ZvZ yet in the KeSPA Cup qualifier today. So it's not the end of the world to try and avoid it, but at the same time, it wouldn't be... I just prefer to cast TVZ, honestly. I don't know what you guys think. Anyways, we're just going to be seeing this Reaper just moving around. And a few Zerglings going to be... up and around here as well, just trying to stop the Reaper. Actually, maybe, very narrowly getting a kill there. A couple of Hellions on the way. We once again see, well, there's the tech lab on the barracks after Marines, so it doesn't look as though it's going to be a Hellbat-based attack. Unless he goes Hellbat Banshee, which is a possibility. These two Hellions going up to the top left-hand side, just looking to see if they can get any damage poking initially. Also to help the Reaper out as Zergling speed comes in. If he can keep that alive, that's great, and he does just manage to. Although he does let the drone get towards the third base without stopping it, so a little bit of a shame there, but not the end of the world. Red Bull, Monster, Red Bull. Monster's nasty. Coffee. Reapers and Hellions have a little bit of a dance here, and they do actually manage to take down Cryptier. A cool little bit of micro we just saw there from Major to keep everything alive. Red Bull too expensive. Yeah, Red Bull is expensive. Red Bull actually is like the cost of a Red Bull, like a small can of Red Bull, like like a normal Red Bull can. The cost of a Red Bull can is like the same cost as like a big 500 milliliter of Monster can. Like, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. Just branding. It's disgusting. I think that's why I don't like Red Bull, because it's just so expensive. I'm like, well, why wouldn't I drink this other energy drink, which I get more of, which tastes... Well, I actually prefer it anyways, but I think the cost probably has something to do with it. Once again, from True, we're going to be seeing a fairly fast lair coming in. I tried to click on the production tab, but apparently it ended. And he's actually going to drop down a Nidus network, so True. Going to go super aggressive here, going to go Queenling Nidus, and, well, what's Major going to have to defend? He's got a few Hellions out. Actually, that's going to be really nice, because when you're going up against Lings coming out of the Nidus, the Hellions going to have the time of their lives. So this might not be so bad for him. As long as the Hellions don't dive in and kill themselves off now, that'd be really important. If he loses these Hellions now, that'd be really kind of sucky. I see this Banshee coming in as well, trying to do more damage. Hellions just trying to push this away. He's going to see a lot of Zerglings now, and he is immediately going to pull back. But guess what? Lings on the map for Trio are already out here, and they're going to try and surround and Major. Oh, he's trying to dart away. He's trying to dodge around with these Hellions. As Zerglings come in, they wrap around though, and a lot of the Hellions are going to fall. And there's Nidus in the main base. Major has just lost a lot of his fighting units out on the map, and this immediately becomes a bit of an issue for him. He's going to have to repair the front with SCVs, keep that wall alive. Liberator going to come back here. Is Banshee going to come back to SCVs? I mean, I don't even think they can repair the Banshee. 1 queen, 2 queens, 4 queens coming out in range of the Liberators though, although they're going to do good damage. True misses his first transfuse. The queen's going down pretty quickly. Hellions have broken through at the front though, and that could make one heck of a difference right now. Hellions are going to get surrounded pretty quickly. We'll see the Liberator going to re-siege, and well, there's still extra damage coming in. SCV's fighting alongside the Marines. 17 workers killed, but Major not too far behind the worker count just yet. Needs to rebuild the wall, but that's not happening, and I actually think Major has just lost a little bit too much here. GG, True will take it 2 games to 1.